Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and in your weight maintenance. Today I'm going to continue the Reflections of a Weight Loss Warrior series, talking about my third weight gain, which happened during COVID. Now before I begin, if you need help with weight loss, especially from the psychological point of view, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, Naturopathic Earth, my podcast, The Awakened Man, my books, and if you appreciate my content, please make a donation via PayPal. Now, like Jesus fell 3 times on the way to the cross, we know that through the Stations of the Cross, which is an old Catholic tradition. This is the third of a 3-part series of mini weight gains that I did in the 30 plus years that I've kept it off. I think episode 4 or 5 of Reflections, and then around episode maybe 20, I talked about the other 2 times. And they coincided with finishing my undergraduate program and not knowing where to go afterwards, kind of like a quarter-life crisis. And then when my father died, and that was like 1997, then when my father died in 2008. The third weight gain happened, like a lot of people, during COVID. I had a good routine with my strength training and my cardio and with the dry sauna, and as all you guys know, the gym's closed. Now, I was fortunate to live in Texas, or I live in Texas, where when everything closed in March 2020, the gym started opening up probably around June of 2020. Thank you, Governor Abbott. Now, during that time, it was difficult for me because I'm not much of an outdoor runner, and I don't like to run every day. So I had to come up with a new way to exercise, and that was cycling. So I got a pretty nice bike, one of the fast bikes with the thin wheels, and I started doing cycling in the kind of trails, the trail systems. And it was fun. It was something new. I'd never done cycling before. And I got good at it. I did it for about 1.5 years until I moved out here in the country. Probably do like 30 miles every other day. I'd mix it up. Like it became my cardio day instead of running. And I would do that. But I think what happened was it wasn't the same cardiac output, even though I was sprinting. I mean, I'm glad, because one of the guys I know, this Mormon guy I know at the gym, when I saw him later, like a year later, I was like, "How you been? I haven't seen you in a long time." He's like, "Yeah, I cycle and I fell and I fractured my femur and I was out for several months." I was like, that probably would have been me, because I was the type of guy on the bike that you would hate if you were a walker or a runner, like weaving through the people, ringing the bell, get out of the way. If there was another bike, we'd be like trying to pass each other, and the trail is maybe 12 feet wide. But I think it was a combination of that, and I wasn't doing strength training, and I wasn't doing the 500 push-ups on alternating days. And again, like a lot of people in 2020, you were anxious. I was worried about the future. I was worried about the kids. Fauci was saying that how many millions of people were going to die, and I went back and reverted to kind of some of my old habits. And I think it was a combination of just not eating well and not being able to work out as well and not do some of the biohacks that I gained weight. And I didn't really know I gained weight until I went to get an STD check, because I was dating a girl who wanted to have an STD check. And this was the last girl I ever slept with, because I took a vow of chastity after that. And I went to this clinic and they weighed me, and I was 205, 207. So I was a good, 20 pounds more than I wanted to be. And this was probably in summer of 2020, around that time. Also, I had to get larger pants, which drove me crazy, because I think I'm a much, maybe I'll do a future episode on this. I'm a much firmer believer of keeping tight pants than getting a larger size, because I think when you keep tight pants, it's a reminder that you've gained weight and you're more motivated to lose it. But I did get a size higher, 36, 34, and I adjusted to that. And slowly I started losing the weight again. It takes a little longer when you're in your 40s. And I'm pretty much, I would say I'm maybe 5 pounds overweight or so. Again, I don't weigh myself. I did that video on how I feel like you shouldn't weigh yourself because you can get obsessed with it. So I'm probably 5 pounds overweight for where I should be, which is not bad given it's been 30 plus years. I guess after May, it's been 31 years, and coming up on 32. And, given the fact that I'm 48 and maybe I'm 5 pounds overweight, I think I can live with that. And I know that if I really want to, I could take those pounds off. But I think it's just partly I just don't really have a motivation. And at my age, it's a little harder. And I think the older you get, the less you care about staying in shape and that. Like when you're 22, you want to get married, you want to have kids and all that. But when you're 50, you're kind of like, well, I got the kids if you listen to the other episode. And I'm in good shape. I have a resting heartbeat of 60. I got my blood work checked, all of it's good. I'm in good shape. I'm just like, 5 pounds at 50. It could be worse. Like I'm like in the 90th percentile for 48-year-olds, to be honest. But you don't want to get complacent. But that was the third weight gain that I did in my 32 plus years, which I think overall is not that bad, given that 80 to 85% of people who lose 50 pounds in their lifetime gain it back and gain it back more. And I've been 31 and a half years. And essentially I've kept it off the whole time. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care, God bless, and post in the comments if you've gained weight. I'd like to hear from you. Take care.